Why are so many people overwhelmed with clutter? Disorganization is causing shame, suffering, friendships, time, money. People just like you, wondering where and how to create an organized lifestyle. This podcast offers expert tips and solutions for your clutter obstacles. My name is Rachel Seavey, and this is the Hoardganize Podcast.
Declutters, welcome to the Hoardganize Podcast. I'm your host, professional organizer, Rachel Seavey, and this is the long-awaited sorting series 2 and 3. So last season, we ended with just basic sorting, which is keep or not keep, okay? Today, we're going to go into what I like to call central sorting. And throughout the entire process until your end of your life, I invite you to constantly declutter and go through your items and see if they're serving you. So central sorting is, let's say we have a whole bunch of different bags that are all miscellaneous, all different categories in one, but they're all items that on that first pass, you said you wanted to keep. So you've got a bag or a box or container of miscellaneous keep items. Now what? You're going to want to go ahead and take, either some paper bags, which I put here if you're watching on YouTube. If not, you can use a box or a paper bag or whatever it is that you need to just do some basic sorting. This isn't perfection. This isn't getting things into their prime location. We're still sorting here. So get some more bags, and you want to have the amount of bags that you have rooms in your home or areas in which you're decluttering. For instance, you might have your own bedroom, you might have a guest bedroom or an office or a craft bedroom or a partner's bedroom or a child or someone roommate's bedroom. You might have a garage, you might have a shed, you might have an attic. So whatever is in your home, have a bag for each of those areas, because you're going to be taking your big miscellaneous keep box and dividing all of those items into which room do they belong. And just make a quick guess. This doesn't have to be anything perfect. I know a lot of people think, well, this could be, for instance, like a pen could go in any room, right? A writing pen. For right now, just keep all your office and stationery stuff together. If you don't have an office, put it in the room where you think you're going to have an office, or just keep your office stuff together. Do what makes sense to you. There are going to be some items that cross rooms, and just go ahead and make a decision. I promise it won't be a wrong decision, and this isn't the final pass. So the idea with central sorting is just to get things a little bit more sorted out, but not all the way sorted out. This allows you to go through your items again, like I said before, and you can make some more decisions on what you want to keep and not keep. And it also allows you to just get into the habit of sorting by category. And I know a lot of people have trouble with that, and I know a lot of people don't. So this might be easy for you. I hope you find this helpful, because sometimes having too many categories, at least in the beginning, can get a little frustrating and overwhelming. You might be tempted to sort your big miscellaneous keep container into lots of micro categories. And what I've found that happens then when you do stuff like that, and you don't go by room, instead you go by item category, the categories are endless. In wardrobe, for instance, instead of just putting all clothing in a box that says bedroom, you could, immediately jump to having different categories for sleeve size. And then your whole house is so disruptive that you start churning because you can't remember what category is what. And that's really what churning is moving things from one part of an area to another part of an area without really making a decision about it. So a good way to start, if you find that you're kind of past the keep and unkeep, is here with central sorting. And I have to say, I don't know if she's listening or watching right now, but I love it when my listeners do these kinds of suggestions. I literally showed up at someone's house and they had brown paper bags with each little room written on there and even the date. So it's really helpful because when I got there, I knew what it was and what I was doing with it. So it's great. And so that's central sorting, basically taking the things that you want to keep and putting them into a container that's labeled by room. As promised, I said that I would move on to advanced sorting, or what I like to call master sorting, into the same episode because I just dragged this on way too long. So I am combining central and master sorting right now. Master sorting is when you take your bags or your boxes that are labeled by room. So now you've got, let's say, 6 paper bags full of kitchen items. Now is where the real fun begins. Still using kitchen as an example, I suggest that you start laying everything out on a flat surface, bag by bag, and start grouping like items together by smaller kitchen categories, things like utensils, things like food, things like plates, etc., pans. So start narrowing down this broad kitchen category into these smaller, more manageable, but all still kitchen categories. And this is my favorite part because this is where you're able to see, oh my gosh, I've got 9 spatulas and I don't cook. I've got, 15 of the same small frying pan, but I don't have one that I really want that's this size. So it could work, you're able to really take a tally or an inventory of what you actually have in the kitchen. And you're able to make better decisions on what you actually want to keep, how many of them do you have, and of course, importantly, do you have space for them? A lot of us want to keep a lot of different things, but do you have the space? If you found 9 spatulas and you love them all, do you have the space for 9 spatulas? So this is the exciting part where you get to see what alls do you have. And I always suggest, sometimes people like to pick the newest. I suggest for people to pick what they like the best. So some people might go with an old school cast iron skillet. Other people might go with a brand new box of pots and pans that they've uncovered while decluttering. But go with what works with your lifestyle. People assume, oh, I'll keep the new stuff and give away the old. But sometimes the old stuff's better made. Sometimes it's got some history to it. So when you start looking at these kitchen items, really think about it. If you've got 3 potato mashers, ask yourself, how many do I need? And when's the last time I mashed potatoes? And can I use something else to mash potatoes? This is the fun part where you actually get to look at what you have, look at the space that you have, and then look at what kind of life you have and see how those 3 kind of things relate together. So that is master sorting. It allows you to put things away in the room in which they ultimately belong in. And if there isn't room there yet where they ultimately belong, that's okay. Just keep grouping things together by room. You don't have to overthink things. It's never the final pass. And it's okay to change your mind on where something lives or belongs. Even us expert organizers will put stuff away and then we'll realize, oh my gosh, there's more. So we'll have to rearrange things and maybe even move everything to another area. So don't get frustrated with the process. I know a lot of you might have cupboards that are full, cabinets and drawers that are full, and you might not be able to put things away right away. But the goal is to learn how to sort, get like items together, get them into or near the room in which they will ultimately belong. And, when I do large projects, this is exactly what we do. When everything's all jumbled together, I mean, this is literally exactly how we sort. I love sorting by room. I'm giving you honest, basic advice. It's here to help you stay focused, here to help you create a plan. It's truly what I do in the field. It's not glamorous. It doesn't involve containers or buying a whole bunch of stuff. It just involves dealing with what you have, because I know a lot of you like to avoid it, and it's scary and it's overwhelming, and I'm sure you'd rather be doing a million other things, right? So this is a simple way to break things down so that you can see what you have. And again, like I'll use the bathroom as an example. Say you have 10 paper bags just full of all sorts of miscellaneous bathroom products. Take some time to sort those out, get all your tweezers together, all your hair product together, your skin care, your dental care. Master sorting is when you start getting everything sorted truly by its category. And you're allowed to get a little bit specific. And there may be more than most people have, but that's okay. Don't let that hold you back. I know a lot of people on their first pass and second pass, and sometimes even third pass, and they've gotten to master sorting and they still have too much stuff. It's okay, because this is constant work in progress. So another thing that you can do if you're kind of short on space, you can gather all your electronics together, and cords and cables, and you can start sorting and going through those. That's kind of a master sorting project. This is when you want to take more detailed time. This is the part everyone's waiting for, to see how many Christmas cards do you have? How many scissors do you own? How many eyeshadows do you finally have when the count is all together? So maybe you'll get excited. Maybe you'll go through your electronics and sort your stationery by holiday and sentiment. I mean, this is master sorting. This is the consolidation of like items that you've collected through the sorting and decluttering process, which is another opportunity to declutter. So while you're sorting and handling these items, I encourage you to continue to scrutinize and declutter as you go. Just because you wanted it last week or last night or 5 minutes ago doesn't mean that you want it now or that you really need it. And if you find something that you realize you're ready to let go of because you don't want it or you don't need it anymore, pop it into one of your donation containers that you have nearby. Always have a constant throughout life till the day that you die. Have an area in your home, a box, a bag, whatever it is, that you are putting things in that you no longer need, no longer use, and you're willing to share with people that might want to use them. Again, it's a process. So if you're new to sorting, this might be way too much information for you. If you're suffering from hoarding disorder, if you're coming to terms with your chronic disorganization, this just might not be your process yet, and that's okay. I suggest that you just keep with the basic sorting method. And when you're ready, go into the intermediate sorting method, which is central sorting, and sort things by room. And then go back to this episode for master sorting. But of course, I also cover central sorting, but you're going to want to maybe even replay this episode a few times. I've worked with people for years. Don't think that just because you've made one pass on your belongings, that's it and you're stuck. Once you've reach the master sorter status, you're going to scrutinize more, and you're going to have better and more discerning decluttering muscles. And, there's really, the sky is the limit, and so just keep working at things every day. Progress over perfection. Once you've reached this level, the master level of sorting, the clarity of what you use on a daily basis and what you have is going to be apparent. You are going to really realize what belongs and what doesn't belong because you've gone through other sorting techniques before getting here. I mean, just imagine actually being able to find the things that you want and not having to desperately search for them and then replace them or go without. So here's the time to work on your sorting skills. And if you have any questions ever about sorting, please email me directly at hoardganize@gmail.com. If you are watching this process on YouTube, go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I've got lots of other episodes coming up. Oh boy. And if you haven't signed up for the Keeping It Real Decluttering and Organizing workshop that I'm doing with Julie Caraccio, today is the time. Go ahead and do that now. You can find me on Eventbrite. The link is going to be in the description. We're teaching all sorts of classes related to decluttering, and we've got an entire year of classes worked out. You don't want to miss that. If you are interested in supporting this podcast, please go ahead and buy me a coffee. The link is down below as well. Until next time, collectors, and remember, happiness is a place between too little and too much.
Thank you for listening to the Hoardganize Podcast. Please make sure you're subscribed and join our Hoardganize Podcast Facebook page and get additional tips and challenges.